smarter than I used to be. Try to take a break every once in a while. I didn't cover very well. I don't know what the heck. What the heck, John? Like I say, you never know how that background is going to look until we get them in here. Because I'm telling you, when they come in here, they're going to pop. Pop. They is going to pop. It's a warm. When I say warm, I'm talking about a tint of warmth in there in these highlights, in the lighter sides of these clothes. And I might push this just a smidge. I've been known to push things just a smidge. This is how I have to get this. This is how I have to approach this. It's little stages. I know it's not perfect, but this is how I find my way. This is how I find my way. A little bit there. Again, blue-ish, cool is the right way to word it. Cooler shadows. And the interesting thing, and if you're really studying this, Matthew, because of the reflections, right, these shadows are reflected light out of the blue sky, right? Warm sun directly on them is warm. In these shadows, that's not there. The sun's not hidden, so it's blue light. But Matthew, if you look, there's on his leg, it's blue-ish because of the angle, but this shadow is reflected out of that, so it's warmer. But those are subtle little things, tiny little subtle things that I choose to try my best to get accurately. It's very subtle, but it's a little lighter than that. Again, I use a bigger brush than I probably should. Just how I roll. Don't ever clean my brush out, which is dumb. Don't do that. Again, John's not the smartest, sharpest tool in the shed. I would say that you really should different brushes. Oh, sheesh, almost dropped that. So I'm just wanting you to see what I'm looking at. I'm right here on her pants, putting in some of these darks, trying to gauge where that's at. You really should have a light brush for lighter values, and then have another brush that you're just kind of going back and forth with the darks. That's smarter. It's smarter than John is, actually. She's got a little bit. I'm trying to gauge how far down. So this is actually up just a hair. And then there's the same, it's actually darker than this, the same little place on her knee as it goes down. Is there anywhere else that I can put this color? Well, yes, there is. If I've got this drawn right. There's dark that comes across like that. This is darker. Andrew, I don't have drawn much at all. I lost the whole thing. It's alright. It's alright. But you can kind of see the, even just those few strokes, how it's changes the dynamics. Changes the dynamics of this. This is going to be a challenge here, because this is red overpowers. Dude, overpowers. So red is one of those that it's so easy to look and go, oh, that's red, and it is red. To pick up cadmium red and throw it in there, but I really try to add some green, kill it a smidge, because that's a little bit more how that reads anyway. This has got more of that in it. Man, that's bold, but hey, that's the way it is. Just the way it is. Just a hint. She actually has a pinkish, tiny thing on. Not that big, but like that. The other thing that's challenging about red is when it gets lighter. You know, and this is going to sound dumb, but to me it seems like there's a difference between light red and pink, and I know it's like, well, that's stupid. Light red is pink, right? But there's times where that just doesn't work. It's the one color I struggle with quite a bit when I'm thinking of trying to match colors. Is a pure, nice, light red. And I guess if I wasn't so hard-headed, I would buy a tube of something, you know, lighter than cadmium red light, where they've already, I guess, taken care of that for me. But if I mix, like me trying to mix that, I look at it and go, well, I need to add white to it. And white on red turns it pink. And, you know, if you look, I mean, is it okay? It's okay. But it's not the color she's got in her shirt. Her shirt's light red. What am I saying? And am I making sense? To me, there's a difference between light red and pink. And I have always struggled hitting that for some reason. For some reason. Don't know why. Too big a brush. Too big a brush. Yep. Let's get some dark blues. Some of these blue breeches. They got blue breeches. Let's see what colors of blue. We got Andrew's shirt. That's pretty daggone blue. It's pretty blue. Mixing, which I do often, I was mixing into other colors I'd already mixed out here, and figured I would turn that purple because there was some red in it, and it sure as heck did. So this is her. Everybody's pants, her shorts rather. So this comes that way. This leg's there. God, I think I've got this drawn too big. We're gonna have to fix it. Why did I not paint over that with that water? Or why didn't y'all tell me that? Look, I didn't cover this. Why? Why? Daggone you guys. So that's where I'm getting confused here. He's got a white streak. It's almost like some red, white, and blue shorts or something. I'm getting confused. This has got me all disheveled. What the heck happened? The heck? His is pretty dark over here. Where's that light? So this is coming down here. There is a little white spot there. It goes like that, and something like that. And it comes around his knee. I'll get a little bit sharper brush for some of the stuff. But this comes up and it comes down like that. It's happening. It's gotta happen. This upsets me. It really does. I'm just, what the hell, John? I thought I pulled that all the way across. I must not have. Daggone it. Oh, what do we do? What are you gonna do? We're just going to have to try to remix that because it's all dried up because it's acrylic, and make an attempt to correct your all's failure. Let me do that. Down the old, let's see. Can live with that. Soften that edge a smidge. And now we're going to come in. Let's try to mix that dark green. Mix that dark green. Doesn't that be perfect? If it don't, it's a good thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Interesting thing here. Okay. Alrighty. Again, I can soften these later if I don't like them, if they're standing out too much. But I'm actually painting them as I see them over here. There are some places that stuff stands out. Even on this bank, there's some places that the shadows are sharper over here. Just little details like that you gotta look for to make this make more sense. Back it up. Back it on up. So hopefully and I think it's happening. As I step way back, the effect of light, meaning it's so easy to paint these shadows too dark, right? And there's places that they're dark, very few, dark, but where there would normally be what we would call this is in shadow, it's very much reflected light. So the reflected light, because it's bright out and they're by the water, it's important that we put it down brightly and not just dark. There's areas I could actually, like on him, I could almost leave them like that and not paint. I'm not going to do that because it's just not the way I paint. But yeah. Get to a point too sometimes in painting that you're like, there's so much I need to do right now, right this second, that you don't even know where to put your brush down. Starting to make sense. If you look down here, it's starting to read better. There's other little things that we're going to do in here, mostly with palette knife, but there's some rocks that are here, right? They're out here that are going to be nice to put in there. Definitely make that read a lot more like a rock bar, which is what it is. Warm that up. I'm hesitating, but I'm not going to hesitate no more. I've been hesitating to put this in. So sorry, damn it. Because I'm not finished with the water, but I feel like I need to put it in just so it starts making sense to me. Sometimes, you know, as you've seen, I'll put a hint of their arm or something, and I don't know why I do that because I'm not really ready to paint it yet. But sometimes I need that in there. I don't know, so it makes sense to me. Don't even have it close. Not even close. What the heck? So let's pick up some paint here. This needs to be on there pretty thick. Is anybody out there? I used to have a teacher in college. I really felt sorry for him. It was 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, U.S. history. And Monday morning, people had been partying and didn't want to be in class, and it was just, nobody wanted to be there. And he didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And he would be teaching, and he basically would read, he taught from the book, and you know how painful that is. And people would be sleeping at their desks, and he's talking about in 1862, Abraham Lincoln, blah, 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 and monotone voice, and reading from the book. And he would look out there and go, is anybody out there? Anybody out there? And then he would just turn around and he'd keep teaching. That's kind of what I feel like sometimes. Is anybody out there? Am I just here by myself? That's not still. Daggone it. That's not, I guess I got this so dark. So dark that this is not going in dark enough. So what do? You get your old Mars Black, get a little bit, you bit, Mars Black, and we're gonna mix, you guessed it, a touch of yellow in it. Touch of yellow. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a different brush, because that one's polluted. It's polluted. And we're going to take, and there's no water in this brush. I don't know if this is even gonna work. Probably not. But I really want this to go on dark. Need a little water. Just need a bit of water. Gotta be careful with the water because it'll make it obviously a little transparent. Really need this to be dark. forget the sides. Don't forget the sides. No. All right, yellow. Black, but gotta put this in here. I really gotta lay it on there thick. I might have to go over this several times to get this to read well. It's all right. I'll have to do a little bit more, no doubt. While I've got this, there are a few, again, it's not just pure black. But there will be little spots that it's darker. There's just not much light at all getting in there, right? And don't get carried away because there's not many of them, but there are a few little spots that'll make that make more sense. There's a spot right off her hand. That's darker. I mean, I can glance over here and see darks all over the place, right? You gotta be careful. But there are some spots. Around Matthew, it's dark. It really is, and I want to make sure I get that. I wish I could turn this picture, not the painting, the picture that I'm looking at upside down. It auto corrects. I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but it just aggravates the heck out of me. Because I want to turn this upside down and paint this. Because my hand will be better angled. I'm just going to have to wang it. I'm looking at the picture and pretending it's upside down. It's the definition of madness. Madness. Elbow's pretty sharp. I can live with that. That's what this is about. Painting's about just going, you know what, I can live with it. I can live with that. So this is going to be a little bit of a struggle because it's going to take me a while. Oh, geez. It's going to take me a while to be happy, happy enough with their shapes. Right. There's places. The key is when you're doing this is there are places that are very sharp, and there's places that are soft, and then there's the shape of the people that I've got to get right. So I hope you're seeing that there's some spots. How you put this paint down is up to you, right? How you do it. But the fact that you do it in a right as it's supposed to be, meaning there are some sharp edges and there are soft edges. And in these people, you gotta get that. Just a couple spots, and I may end up with a palette knife to do some of this. But there's some places that the edges are sharp. There's places that get softer, and it'll start reading. And and I want them to stand out because I mean, look, even look right here. Look how dark that is around her. I don't want to get. I want this to be pushed back, and I've pulled it because of contrast and saturation. I've pulled it forward, but that's dark. It's much darker than I got, but I'm concerned with this looking contrived, looking like I invented it, I guess, because that happens sometimes, right? I know it sounds dumb, but you know, whenever I see someone do a landscape, and I love landscapes, but some people do landscapes, and they put the little limbs hanging out, and some, you know, reeds over here, and there might as well be a deer in a cottage or something. It's just so cute, and sometimes artists will do what I'm doing because it makes this stuff stand out, and you know, even though it's not there. And in this case, that's not the case. It's actually there, and I'm not pushing it as far as I probably should. But you see, that definitely makes her stand out more. And again, it's there. I'm not making this up. It's there. I promise. Promise. Not sure why, what I've got going on here. Her arm comes down like this. And her hand's right about there. Her leg comes out. That's the shorts, roughly. Mumble. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to keep doing that. I'm so congested. Starting to read a little bit. Starting to make sense. Stuff just takes time. It does. It just takes a little time. Introduce a new color here. Which I don't mind doing sometimes. And I like to, when I do that, lay some of that around. You know, because there may be some bush back here that's different than every other bush, right? It happens. Makes interest. Makes it look interesting. I don't have them drawn correctly yet. I'm having to do some negative painting here, as you can see. Andrew's arm comes out. Pretty close, I think. But here, on top, and I really want to try to paint this. I've said this before, in the fewest amount of strokes I can. If I could do it with one just of the brush, I will do that. That's going to look better than if I sit here and go tink, 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 tink. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you definitely have to do that. Too much water. Do you see that? Are you digging my wrap? You hearing what I'm shoveling? Yes, I am mad. I'm mad. This goes like that. I think. You can tell I don't like this spot here. it's going to be a lot, and I may not, just for your own sakes, I may not sit here and paint or record this entire process of me. Maybe it would serve you well, I don't know, but I will be spending a lot of time struggling to get their shapes back because I painted over stuff, their legs and things. So, but when I step back, it's starting to, wow, it's, because this is back where you're going to view the painting, right? It's starting to make sense. So it's happening. They're going in there. When they get in there, that background's going to make more sense, I think. I like the water. I've got it pretty bright, probably brighter in areas, but I'll introduce some interesting greens and things maybe in there. But that's starting to happen. What I think I'll do is I'm just going to continue to do exactly what you see me doing in them, but I think I'm going to probably not take, because this is going to be it's going to end up being a 5-hour painting probably. So we'll come back and see what it looks like next time.